Hi, guys.
Hey, Coach.
Coach,
Good. Am I muted or not? I don't think so.
I hear
I
you.
don't think so.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Loud and clear.
Bob Booth, Dave Anderson, Ed Kester, and Rem are out to my house, so I've seen them already, and Zim and Bruce
Coach, you're
Moeller,
seeing things. You're seeing things if you saw me at your house.
Mick Lambert. And I think this Janet Peterson's under
Yeah, that's-
disguise here, I think.
Hey, Coach, I told the guys I was coming out of the closet. It was about time.
All right, Janet. We'll
All
talk.
right. That's going to be a running joke, isn't it? I'm
I
over
know,
at a friend's house, so.
That's all right. We're
Yeah,
loving it, no
well,
matter
yeah.
how.
You don't have to explain to us.
Yeah, okay. Do I get another
Yeah,
picture? I just turned my phone on.
Drexel Jenkins, golly. Wow, can you hear me, Drexel?
yes, Coach, I can. It's great to see your face and hear your voice. And as
Boy,
well
that's
as some of these other names I see popping up. I'm like, wow, these are blast from the past.
Where are you at now, Drexel?
I'm still in Florida, Coach. I'm in Port St. Lucie.
Are you?
Yeah,
Okay.
kind of central Florida.
Do you connect with Alex down there once in a while?
Yeah, oh, definitely. Alex and I are in contact on a regular basis.
Okay, good. But golly, it's good to see you, man.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I actually am in communication with Alex and Butch Carter. I talk to Butch probably once a week or so, and he's about 2 hours north of me.
Yeah, isn't Butch, isn't he around the Orlando area?
Yeah, he's still in Sanford.
Sanford, that's what I
Yes, sir.
thought. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I think that's is that on the north side of Orlando, I think, or? can't
Yeah,
remember.
just north of the Orlando area. Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
been a while since I visited that area down there, so.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Even Steve Young joined us tonight. Golly. Hi, Steve. Brad Pohl. Golly, we got a lot of good folks on tonight.
Hey,
Todd Knutson, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Good. Are you up at the lake or what?
I am.
Are you?
Yep, I got up here about an hour ago.
Okay. Is it cold up there? Rainy?
Yes, it is. Beautiful. Cold, rainy. Yep.
Send
Got
some
the
rain
fire-
down to Arizona, Todd. This is Kevin Moser.
I wish I was in Arizona.
Yeah. Start
Believe
getting
me.
warm, buddy.
Jeff Folkers, I see his beautiful face here too.
Good evening, Coach.
Is that Rob Shaw or who is this Rob Clausen? Yep, Rob Shaw. I think. You're kind of foggy. I
You're
had
muted.
I had my cataracts done, but you still look a little foggy.
Oh, yeah, in the flesh, it is.
Joel Matchick, golly, what a great night. And then Jay Sim is on too, Jay. Can you hear
Yeah,
us, Jay?
I had to sign this stuff up. I don't know. I did something though.
Woo,
What's
up?
that? Hey, brother!
Good to see you.
And
How
the one
are
and
you?
only
Johnny?
Sid Cordemeier's on too with us here. So Alex Rojas just joined us. Golly, I won't even call you Tim Heupel tonight, Alex. I hope Tim gets on tonight so you can compare the looks of those two guys. Last week I confused him for looking like too much like Tim Heupel, so I got you straight.
Oh, I never thought of that. That's a good one, Coach.
Doesn't he kind of look like Tim Heupel a little bit with the hairdo he's got and everything?
Now I think of it, yeah.
Well, Brad Pohl's back from Montana, I see.
Have arrived.
I saw the Ed Kester showed me the video of you guys and the guys you took from SDSU out there. Some great testimonies out there. It was great to hear them talk about the experience that they had out there, and kind of neat to have a group of guys that love the Lord all together. So,
It is.
amen.
Fun trip. It's really a fun trip.
Come on, threw it away.
Hey, Brad, Kevin Moser, what part of Montana you at? Where you at?
We were on the Bighorn River on the eastern side of the state, about 40 miles east of Billings.
Okay. I spent
down
5
off
years in,
Fort Smith.
I spent 5 years in Kalispell, Montana. By
Oh, you
Glacier
did?
Park. Yeah,
Beautiful place.
gorgeous. Yes, it is.
Yeah, I got a friend that sells real estate up there. He's an old teammate of mine. Yeah,
Probably doing fairly well too, I'd imagine.
yeah, he's done really well.
Nice.
Kind of got in early when it was just beginning and kind
Sure.
of rode the wave.
Gotcha.
Alex, did you see the Drexel's on tonight? Alex,
Yes, sir.
you see did you see that good looking Drexel up above you there on the screen?
Yeah, I did. I just sent them a personal message.
Good.
I'm
You
happy. I'm
convicted him.
happy he's yeah, I finally found him.
We have to get
Yeah.
Butch Carter on the next time, okay?
We
I'll
should
try
reach
that.
out and make them
I'll try
aware
that.
of this connection and forward the information to them. So maybe I can encourage them to join.
Well, I
What's
see we
up,
got-
Drexel?
Who's that?
Woo.
Jay Woo Sim. How are you, brother? I'm looking at you now. You're on the
Good.
screen. Good to see your face, man.
Me too.
Absolutely.
I see we got one punting coach on tonight, Al Hansen. Welcome, Al.
Yeah. All right,
Ah.
Coach.
We got the brothers on tonight. We got Brian and Alan. Golly. You go by Alan anytime, or is it just Al?
Al mainly.
Lala.
Brian, can you hear us, Brian?
I can hear you.
That's good. Good to have you on. Does anybody have to leave early tonight? Can you be on until 9?
It all depends.
It all depends on what happens, huh?
Dave Anderson,
time
you got internet up there in Idaho?
Yep, just got it.
Hey, Dave, how was the trip back, bud?
Oh, simple, it was easy. Just a 2-hour flight, man. It's an easy.
Oh, that's right. You
trip
flew
like
down.
that. What's that?
Yeah, you told me you'd flown down.
Yep. We'll be back.
Nice gray hair, Anderson. Holy
It's
mackerel.
gone. Boo, it's gone.
Hey, you know, Rojas told me he's feeling a little bit better about his hair after seeing you, the picture I sent.
Oh, man. Yeah. Those were the days. They left me fast, man.
Dave Anderson, you look older than me.
What can you
No,
say to
you
that,
don't,
bud?
Dave.
It's true, Brad. I need to spend more time on the river.
Holy moly.
Tell us about your visit you had with Kevin down there. The two of you got together. That was kind of unique.
Yeah, we were down there visiting my son and his family, and last time we'd been on Zoom, I told Kevin that when I was in town, I was going to reach out, and so we got together for some coffee, and it was like old times, man. Just
Yeah, it
stepped
was.
right back in and
Yeah.
right back in the huddle, and he's giving me a hard time about all the things I used to do to annoy him, and so things
I
haven't
didn't know
changed
you
much.
that well either. Who is this guy pulling socks down in my huddle, man?
Did that surprise you, Kevin, when you got a call from Dave?
Yeah, it shocked me, but it was really good to hear from him. I thought about all these guys, quite a bit over the past years and stuff, and just not very good. And being up in Alaska for so long, it wasn't convenient to be able to travel unless you flew, but yeah, it was a pleasant surprise. It was good to see him.
Is this Bill McKernan?
Yes, it is. How you doing, Coach?
Good to see you, Bill. How
Good
many
to
did
see
you know
you.
Bill? A lot of you, are you down in Arizona yet, aren't you, Bill?
Over in Idaho.
Yeah, I
Boise,
got two
Idaho.
Idahoans.
Oh my
Yeah, that's
gosh,
right.
I didn't know you were in Idaho.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Bill and I had dinner together, so.
Is that right? Wow. Good to hear. So
How you feeling, Coach?
just seeing you guys makes me feel 100% better. Let me put it that way. Golly,
Nice, nice.
it's just, you know, obviously been through a few things recently, but I don't know. You just got to know that when you get old, those are going to happen. So you might as well just shut up and suck it up and get after it. But it's
Exactly.
it's such
You
a
need
good
one of those
inspiration.
Michelin Man suits that you put on when you're walking around and stuff, man.
I'm still walking anyway,
Yeah, that's true.
without a walker, without a cane.
There you go.
It's like Nutcracker every day.
Yeah,
Right.
that's funny.
I noticed that Kevin can be in two places at once. He's got Janet Preston
I know.
Peterson and Kevin Moser.
I know
on
that-
Kevin Moser.
It's amazing, isn't it,
How's that
bro?
working?
I'm at a friend's house. I
I'm
said,
trying
I
to figure out how
can't,
you're doing that.
I can't. If I got two, do I have two pictures up?
Well, there's only one of you, but there's
That's
two
good.
screens. I'm just curious
I
how
got
you're
my phone
doing
on too.
that. Hey, Brad, I didn't realize that you were such a historian. I'm really enjoying your Grit Quest podcast, especially the one about Caesar crossing the Rubicon. I really enjoyed that one.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Very good.
There's an Irish one on this week, so maybe
Yeah, I listened to that. I listened to that today.
I'll try to
when
get
you
a
put them
Cuban
on.
one on coming up soon. Alex, I'll try to
Yeah,
get
there
some.
you go.
There.
There you go.
I think this is TJ, isn't it? TJ Heupel?
It is.
It's not Tim with hair. I know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your dad going to be on tonight?
Yeah. He said, you probably can't believe this, but he said he went out for ice cream. And so he's going to be a little late.
Oh, you tell him, let's get his priorities in order, will you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Geez, TJ, it's been how long we saw you?
Yeah.
20 some years? Right longer than that, hasn't it?
Yeah. I graduated high school in 97. But
Oh my.
yeah,
That means that we're getting younger.
I think so.
Nice to see you.
Thank you. You too.
You're down in Las Vegas or Reno? Where?
Las Vegas. That's right. We got to hold our high school graduation at the Raiders' new stadium.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it was the largest gathering they've had so far in that stadium. It's been open for a year, but they couldn't have any fans. So we set the record. About 3,000 people there as the largest gathering so far.
Are you, you're teaching, aren't you?
I am teaching
Spanish?
Teaching Spanish. Yep.
Want to say something in Spanish?
There you go, Alex.
Say something to Alex in Spanish, will you?
Probably, I was going to ask him if he's teaching Mexican Spanish.
Yeah.
There's Mexican, there's
That's
Colombian,
mostly
Argentine.
It is.
Yeah.
I hear, Alex, I've heard my dad tell the story about, I think it was you that was singing Guantanamera during practice, and Coach Craven asked, who keeps singing about 1 ton of tomatoes out there?
Just being polite.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Bruce Moeller, I got to ask you something, Bruce.
Go ahead, sir.
There was a lady by the name of Moeller that had a gun and pointed at somebody in Sioux Falls. That wasn't a relation to you, is it?
No.
Okay, good. I just had to ask you because I couldn't assume, but you never know what the connections might be, but they
Well,
weren't too happy with her.
I haven't heard anything about it, so.
Yeah, but it's spelled the same. And I thought, well, maybe Bruce might know who it is. So.
Oh, thanks for that, Coach.
Okay.
No,
I knew
don't.
you need, I know you wanted a little lift tonight, and that really didn't do that. So.
It wasn't gonna be good anyway.
Ralph Duke. Hi, Ralph.
What's up, Coach?
You're kind of hoarse.
I just had to clear my throat.
Oh, okay.
All
You
good
got a-
now.
Have you started that man over deal yet, or what do you call it? The
The voiceover stuff. I've been working at it.
Have you?
So yeah, it's
Got
kind of
that.
interesting, kind of fun.
Well, it's sure good to see all you guys. And I'm not sure exactly what's the best way to, but maybe I don't know. Kevin, would you like to share a little bit, maybe what's happening in your life right now? And it's been such an inspiration to me personally. And I know Diane, if she was with us, she would be super elated to, hear about some changes you're
sure.
making in your life. But would you mind sharing a little bit, Kevin?
No, I have no problem sharing whatsoever. Guys, when I got away from the football, let me turn this phone off. I was trying to record on my phone. Second. Working up in the Alaska oil field, it was a macho type of thing, and you worked hard, and you're gone from home for 2 to sometimes up to 6 weeks at a time. And when you get off, you work in a manly man's atmosphere, whatever it might be, just away from town. And then when you get home, it was time to cut loose, and I did that for almost 25 years up there. But what I found out, what progressed is that my cutting loose was, I don't mean to justify whatsoever. This is my own decisions and stuff. And I was fairly young, and I had a chance to do some traveling, and you have extra money and stuff. And so I started drinking way too much, on my days off, and it kind of progressed to a point where even when I decided to come back and do a quote normal job in Montana, that was getting to a point where I really didn't care about too much else for a while there, and I was fortunate enough that I could binge like that occasionally, then maintain and things. But the last few years, taking care of my dad passed away about 3 years ago. My mom was by herself, having health issues and things like that. And I was so scared that I might be on one of those binges and I couldn't take care of things the way that I know that I could normally. I would never forgive myself. And recently I've been taking a really hard look. It took me almost 60 years to get to this point, but at least I'm getting there. Is that with that drinking and stuff, yeah, I think I had good times. Some of the times I don't remember. And so I did a lot of praying, guys. Soul searching. I was down on my knees at certain times. I was scared. And I lost relationships before in the past because of it. And I didn't really care, because at one time I thought I had the best woman in the entire world, and things kind of went south on me on that end. But it came to a certain point where, I was getting sick and tired of being sick and tired. It's a saying that you'll hear quite a bit. And I was feeling like crap, and I was starting to look like shit, pardon my language. But it's God's honest truth, and I wasn't functioning like I knew I could. So so far, knock on wood, with God's help and stuff, I've had a chance to go ahead and kind of get my mind back together, and kind of looking back on my life, say, where did all the bad things happen to me? And it always came down to one answer, and it's been a hell of a fight. It's Alex calls it the dragon, fighting the dragon, and I just taking it day by day, one day at a time. And I got some people in my life also that have gone through similar issues. But anyway, just in looking back on, let's say, my ex-teammates, my old teammates, and still my teammates, actually, and seeing Dave was a really good inspiration. Alex Rojas kind of calls it like he sees it no matter what anyway. And he kind of gave me a ration about it before a little bit, and he said, this isn't really you, and I understood that, but I've come to the realization that with God's help and also support of others, this thing can be beaten. And I'm just feeling really good about myself right now, so knock on wood, that'll continue. But that's kind of really all I had to say about it. I got myself caught up into a lifestyle that was making good money, free time, and I would, I took advantage of it or disadvantage of it. And I look back at all those wasted hours and wasted days and stuff like that. And it's kind of an eye opener, so that's pretty much all I got, Coach. But that's the truth. And Coach Young I've called him up before in the past, and I was probably in my cup, so to speak, and he bared with me and he said prayers for me. And I want you to know, Coach, I love you, and it means the world to me, and you men do also. So that's it, guys.
He's a good-looking chap, isn't he?
Yeah, that and a quarter. Well, not a quarter will get you a cup of coffee nowadays.
It's amazing how
Yeah,
good you
and a
look
clock.
with what you've been through. That's the thing, But
Yeah.
I just to kind of give you, Kevin came to Maryville High School his senior year, right, Kevin?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And kind of lit it up there. I tell you, we played the heck out of him. We were playing in the semifinals over at Sun Devil Stadium, and we had lost our fullback, and he didn't get to play that night. And my son Dave was the quarterback, and the game boiled down to a defensive battle, and we got down to the goal line, and I called a dumb play, and we didn't score, and we got beat 7-0, I think, right, Kevin? I believe. But
yeah,
Kevin
I talked to some of those guys in that game on the other team later on, and yeah, you rode me pretty hard that game, Coach. I was cramping and everything else, but I was only back that entire season that got over 100 yards on McClintock, man. But you rode me hard, let me tell you.
Were you playing safety too at that time?
Yes, sir.
You're playing both ways.
Actually, you had me at cornerback.
He was wondering whether he was going to fit in at Maryville or not. Can you imagine 6'2" and 220 pounds and
that's in college.
A running back and safety? I tell you, it didn't take me too long to figure that he needed to be on the field both ways if possible. And so anyway, and then he went to junior college, I think, for a couple of years, didn't you, Kevin? And then
yeah, Ken Stites was a coach at Phoenix College, and he said if I stuck around the area, there'd be some different offers coming in. And I didn't want to leave because I was in love. You know how that goes with me anyway. So yeah.
But I got a hold of him. I happened to run into him down there. I think we were watching the pro football scrimmage or something out of Glendale Community College, wasn't it?
It was a USFL.
Yeah. And golly, I convinced him maybe for him to come to USF to play ball and SFC at that time. And when he got up there, you don't realize how close, Kevin, you were to being ineligible.
Oh, I believe it. Well, that Northern Colorado thing, and it had to be fate. I mean, guys, it worked out really, really strange because I decided that I'd set out of school for a year, and I worked up in Alaska in the oil field. I said, this isn't for me, man. I did about for 8 months. I said, I can't hang out with these guys, all these old Vietnam vets and stuff, and I'm going back to college. But I ran into Coach down there, and I did. Yeah, that's what you told me later. You didn't tell me while I was there.
Well, he was a little out of shape his first year, but boy, his second year, he even protected Mick Lambert, right, Mick?
Yeah.
Mickey, what's up?
Tell us a little bit about that, Mick.
What was that?
Tell us a little about that incident, will you, on it's Black Hills?
Oh yeah, that's right. I didn't like that. Well, you hit my quarterback when he was down on the ground, man. Come on.
Oh, I remember the story very vividly, Mick. I've told it at least 100 times.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to. Butch went ballistic, man. Butch Carter.
Brad Paul.
I didn't have a career quite like Coach Young, but I coached a long time, and I had a lot of running backs. I had a lot of guys that gained 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
And for a while there, it seemed like I had a guy every year. But of all the guys I had, I never had a guy as tough as you.
Well, thank you.
I tell you, I thought you were just you were really something. So you left an impression on me as a player in terms of your ability to work hard and overcome things. And And yeah, you were a tough guy. So that was a great testimony that you just gave. I lift you up for it. That was big time.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I appreciated hearing it.
Yeah. It's kind of embarrassing, but it's not, you know, if other people can get something out of it, you know, and like Alex was saying, man, it can be a dragon and stuff like that, but it can be tamed, so to speak.
Alex, remember that night you called me and Kevin called me and that was a special night, I'll tell you. Remember that, Alex?
Yeah, it was about 2 weeks ago. I had spoken to Kevin. I just decided to pick up the phone because a lot of times Kevin had called me and he wasn't in a good place, and I'm a pretty busy
come on,
guy.
man. I thought I was making all kinds of sense.
You did, so.
Yeah.
And I was pretty hard. I've been pretty hard on Kevin a couple times on the phone, and I said, you know, I just had a moment there, and I decided to call him, and he picked up the phone, man, and he was as clear as a bell, you know, and I had one of the best conversations that I had with Kevin in a long time, and I really, really enjoyed that. And I thought it would be good for me to reach out to Coach Young and tell him. I said, hey, look, I just spoke to Kevin, and he'd like to participate in this thing you've put together. And well, Coach Young didn't answer, and I thought that was kind of odd. And I called him back about another half hour, an hour or so ago, and he was, I was just on the phone with Kevin. And I said, well, he beat me to it. He had called Coach, and Coach and I were uplifted by that, and I had my fingers crossed that he would show tonight. And
oh, come on, man!
Happy about that. I'm super happy to see Drexel on there. I've been sending him a text, and I'm happy to see Drexel there. And we talked a couple times on the WhatsApp. But Kevin is, I'm really inspired by that. I was really happy to see him and Dave Anderson together last week, and sent me a picture. But Dave does have more hair than me, though.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
I just keep it shorter.
Yeah. You do that yourself?
And it's great to really see Jay Wu here.
Yeah.
We've been going through a lot. I really enjoyed that. Except watching him chew his food, he reminded me of BJ Motley sitting in front of BJ.
Oh my Lord, Alex, you need some serious help, man.
That reminded me of. For those of you that don't know BJ Motley, if you ever watch him eat, he looked just like Jay Wu when he was sitting there at the beginning.
Oh, gee, let's get on that there, Kevin. My Lord, here we go.
And then there's Rob Shaw, and I'm hoping that Rob Shaw will do a Jay Wu impression before this evening's over, because you want to hear something funny, you got to listen to that guy do a Jay Wu impression.
I'm not trying to get Coach Wu to have me punch the wall in my house here up in Aberdeen. So keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, but you got to do the chop your feet one.
Hey, Alex, I thought you settled down, man. It's a smart ass.
Jay, you still do a lot of cooking?
What's that?
You still do a lot of cooking?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, you still have a business?
When Alex comes over, he thinks he's having a steak, and I get a dog and cook him dog steak. Yeah.
And you guys know that Wu used to have Wu's teriyaki. You ever hear that? When he had that, I used to call up and place orders from Florida, and I'd give him some bogus address, and then I'd call back and harass him and ask him where it was, and I'd just get on his case, man. He'd get so mad at me.
How's it going?
Then I'd cancel it. Oh, he hated me for that, but I kind of really enjoyed doing that to him, though.
Yeah, he enjoyed anything doing it with me. Kevin, nice to see you, brother.
Yeah, no kidding, buddy. I was gonna give you a call back.
I know I called you a couple of days, and when I heard that through Coach Young, and I was very, very proud of you. And then I haven't talked to you in about a month or so.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, so I didn't know it's during that time that things have changed. So I am very, very proud. And now you need to get your butt up here and visit us.
Yes, exactly. I was thinking about that. Maybe this coming fall to catch a game or something.
So, that'll be kind of fun.
Yes, it would.
Jay did, he spent one night on here about 4 weeks ago, was it? Maybe something
Yeah.
like that. And kind of shared about his experience, and I think all of you probably know about his liver cancer that he's battling right now. And why don't you give us a little update on that, will you, Jay?
Well, it's going good. It's day by day. I think no much is more than what doctor does. I just show up when they told me to show up. And I have MRI coming up here in about 2 weeks. Then after that, about a week later, I had to go to Omaha for eval for liver transfer. So I have that. So I got a long run. As far as liver is concerned, I feel good about it. And I got my chemo done 2 weeks ago or so. And I got tired for first 5-6 days. But other than that, doing pretty well. I started walking in again. So yeah, it's going good. So, and things just have changed a lot, like I know what Kevin's going through, and Kevin and I talked before, like in the other stage, and a few times Kevin said, "Hey Jay, how did you do it? And I'm proud of you." And so we do share some stuff with him, but just bottom line is you only willing to do it, or can you control what you're doing? Like some people can handle alcohol. They can have one or two or whatever it might be. Some people can, and causes a lot of problem with that. And hopefully, it took us this long to kind of figure that out. Did I enjoy myself while I was drinking back a long time ago? Probably, yeah, I had some lot of fun too. But came down to it. That was part of the cause of my liver cancer, because I had a level disease, liver disease, and it could be from cirrhosis or it could be from fatty liver or whatever. So just kind of go day by day. And I know Coach Young and Brian, who've been meeting for about a year, and I always look forward to that once a week in their Bible study. That's been really helpful. And I'm just kind of blessed to have all you guys as a true friend. And I'm very, very lucky that I have so many friends just through USF, through Coach Young and Brad and Hypo and everybody said, it's very lucky that we will be able to attend and know each other so well. And I think our relationship is going to continue to grow. And I really appreciate that you guys are thinking about me, but I'll be fine.
Thanks, Jay. Any comments for Jay? Anybody?
Hey, did you lose any hair during the chemo?
No, I'm not that old.
I just want that.
No, they just went right through my, they changed so much now, Kevin.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, they go through main artery, then from main artery, they go in through the vein and go directly into the liver, kidney. I mean,
no, I'm not talking about the surgery. I'm talking about the chemo. Did you have to undergo radiation or something like that, or was it?
Yeah, chemo. Yeah, I went through chemo. So no.
Did you lose? Yeah. Okay.
So I think they caught it right on time, Kevin. So
good.
Yeah, if it would have been later or gotten bigger or something like that, liver are really tough to get because there's so much qualification for size, how big it is, how well spread, all that. So,
right.
And they just caught it right away about a year ago when I wasn't feeling good, and they found that out that I had liver disease,
right,
through my ulcer. So, without my ulcer, I would never known about it. So.
Maybe that's a blessing in disguise. Yeah, my ex-wife, she had breast cancer and had double mastectomy to remove it, and so we went through a pretty rough patch there for a while too. This was years ago, but still, it's something nasty.
Yeah, it is. You don't recommend anybody else, but
yeah,
there's some good part to it too. You learn a lot about yourself.
Yeah,
how things are, and I think keeping positive attitudes is huge. So try to keep it positive.
Did you understand that Jay had his chemo through by them putting seeds, some chemo seeds, right? Jay,
Yeah.
in your liver.
Yes.
And so he
they
never had
closed it.
the infusions or oral chemo, and I think that's why he didn't lose any hair or anything, probably.
Correct. They directly attacked the cancer, and the only side effect I had was like tired, headache, achy, stuff like that. But rather than that, now that I am kind of concerned about, because I have another modulin in my other, I have two of them, and one of them became cancer, and the other one, they might be, so they're watching close eye on it till I get my liver transplant. So.
Anybody else want to share a little bit? Maybe encourage these two men that mean a lot to us, and that's kind of one of the things that we want to do tonight. If you've got a word of encouragement to either one of these or both of them, this is a good time to do it, guys.
A few weeks ago, we had, well, it was months ago, I guess, Steve Young and Keith Anderson talked, and we were talking about regrets. Steve was talking, and we got into a really good conversation, but something Bob Booth said that's really stuck with me is that on regrets, that, you know, we really shouldn't have regrets, because anything we would regret makes us the man we are today. So the changes that you make today are all due to things that have happened in the past. So it should all just be, you know, assumed positive and take it and just move on from here. It really meant a lot that night when we had that conversation and Bob said that just really stuck with me. And
That is a great, man.
I'm really proud of you, Jay, man. I love you. I'm glad you called me and fill me in. And Kevin, it's really nice to get to know you. You're definitely in my thoughts and prayers, and you got a huge group of guys here in your back pocket. So, man, anytime, night or day, we're all there for you.
Thanks.
I'll jump in too. Kevin, that was a great story. Just appreciate you sharing that. And Coach, you got to make sure you share this video that you record. Hopefully some of the younger guys can pick up on that too. That's just a great story to hear, and people need to know that they can come out of that. And then as far as Coach Wu, man, love you, Coach. You're my best defensive line coach I ever had. Granted, I only played defensive line 1 year, but you were the best defensive line coach I ever had. So I appreciate you too, Coach. And I didn't know that was going on. You were dealing with that, man, but my prayers are with you, and I'll continue to say prayers for both of you guys. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate your stories. And Coach Wu, I just keep the battle, and I love you, man.
Thank you, Bill. I appreciate that. Feel the same way about you, bud.
You know, I got a story about Jay, is that we used to.
Where I used to kick your ass all the time.
Shut up, man. No, come on now. Yeah, because you'd always be grabbing it.
Here's a big Arizona, like, hey, I'm a stud. And here's a 5'5".
Yeah, right, like I acted like
here's
that.
a 5'5" Korean whipping his ass.
Always at the ankles, like a damn badger, man. We'd be like, we practice goal line, man, all the time. Ankle, man. I used to hate it. Always with your helmet right on the ankle.
Yeah.
So what the hell, Jay?
Hey, that is not the first time I heard that, so we know it's true.
I'm serious, man. He'd get so low, and he'd hit you with his helmet and your ankles. That hurts. Damn, fool, that hurts, man.
There's some fun times.
Get up here and play with the big boys. That's what I should have said.
Yeah. I feel sorry for you.
Truth comes out.
Yeah, Chad, that was a great word that you shared. That kind of hit me too. You know, regret and kind of be able to take advantage of that.
Use it for the positive, man.
Yeah, it's real. I really like that.
Kevin, Jay, I want to affirm you guys. Great to see you, and just cool to see what God's doing in your life. And you know, just thinking as you were sharing that we how cool it is that God actually uses our story at different stages in our life. And there are so many people who need hope at certain phases of their life, and they're people you may be like, oh man, I wasted this many years, or I wish I could have these years back. And that's kind of almost that regret message we were talking about in a way, but that God kind of takes that and there are other people at this stage, people who've been through this journey, and they don't know that they're going to be able to get out of it. They have no idea. But somehow they're going to run into you, and you're going to be able to say, you know, I was able to beat it, but not just me, but by God's power as well. And it's just really cool how God, you know, whether it's using a cancer story or using, you know, a story out of addiction, or just any story out of financial ruin, whatever, and or even being in the midst of it, but still pressing on. I think of Apostle Paul saying, I press on towards that goal. I keep pushing forward, and we can't do it on our own. That's why it's so cool to have these kind of gatherings. It's a reminder that others are on the field with us. And so I affirm you guys, and just know that God's going to use it in some powerful ways. I mean, there's nothing greater than to think that God might just take your story and change another life with it. I mean, set a whole new course, a whole new path for somebody else. And I mean, just start to imagine how then that person's change will affect somebody else's. And you just see how God begin, you know, that's why God's the great multiplier. You know, we can think we're doing very little, but one story impacts another story, and it's all because we were willing to kind of lay it down and say, I can't do it anymore. I've got to do it with somebody else's power, and the power of community, the power of God. So I'll affirm you guys, bless you, and this helps to know how to keep praying for you as well.
Nice.
Jay, I don't know anybody that I've run across in life that knows you that doesn't have a funny story about you and the experience that they've had with you. And at the same time, they always share, you know, something that's really endearing. And so boy, I've known you a long time. I still remember you at Sheridan High School, and you and Russ Stewart were like Abbott and Costello. You know, you were like Jerry and who was that other guy? I mean, you're like a comedy team. I mean, you never got into stances. All you did is reach down to the ground because your legs were so short. You put your fingers on the ground. You never bent down. Russ was twice the size. And
now that's funny.
It was like
that's
we got this really big guy, and then we got this really little guy. There was like these two little, you know, this little guy right here, and then there was this big guy right next to him. You know, the big guy would always hit somebody, but then you would always be, you know, you'd be zipping around all the time, all around him. But yeah, you had a great legacy as a player, and you've had a great legacy as a coach, and you're an unforgettable guy, Jay.
Thank you, Brett.
I really wanted to tell the story about you at Augustana, but I heard it secondhand. So it's sort of got some foul language in it. So I really don't know if I should tell it or not. But I think I'm going to go ahead and tell it anyway, just because we're all who we are. But
remember, Brett, everybody lies.
Yeah. There was the guy that played linebacker at Auga, whose name was, I think, Schwartz.
Yeah, played for.
And he was really good. He went on and played for Jacksonville, I think, didn't he, for a few years? It was before a game, and or maybe it was at halftime, but you were firing up the defense. You were the defensive coordinator, and you looked over at Schwartz and you said, "Ah, Schwartzy, Good player. Rest you guys. No up. That has lived in my memory. I can just see you saying that.
There's your cue, Shaw. There's your cue.
No,
Yeah, Shaw, I want him to do a.
no,
Jay Wu
no. This
impression.
is not
That's
about
all
picking on Wu. It's about talking to Mosher.
I do have a good one about having a toothpick in my mouth when we were in the huddle. And Jay Wu stopping cold while he's yelling at all of us and basically got the Lord's name in there in the conversation and told me to get that toothpick out my mouth, and I couldn't get it out of there fast enough and was stuck to my lip and I couldn't get it out of there and just ranting and raving and getting after me. But I'll leave the details out. I know you want to hear me do the impersonation, but Alex.
So do I.
Everybody wants to hear it, Shaw. The chop your feet.
Get that goddamn toothpick out of your mouth.
The one thing about Woo that I remember probably the most was you always yelling at Steve Costel.
Yeah.
You going, Costel, you pissing me off. Get some chopping.
Impersonation.
Get your feet a chopping.
You guys.
Love you, Coach.
Yeah, same here, guys.
Coach.
Yeah.
Drexel, you must have some thoughts in your mind, right?
Little bit, but not much.
Do you remember these two guys?
Who?
Coach, I'm really just really, taking this whole conversation in. Obviously, I didn't, my story is I didn't finish my career at Sioux Falls College. I got 2 years in, and I even sent you an email. You get a chance to check it out later, and we can talk. But I was reminiscing about when I got an opportunity to speak with Coach Craven. He came down to Miami. I met him at a hotel, a recruiting meeting, and I thought I'd be talking about football and what my potential, options were at the coup at that time for play. And I just remember leaving that meeting with this, completely different impression of what was coming next. He talked to me about maturity. He talked to me about a campus that I would, be in an environment for spiritual growth. He talked to me and planted a seed early on about some of the benefits that had nothing to do with football. And I went to the campus those years in 82 to 84, 85 that I was there, the guys that I met, some of them on the phone now, man, the experience was really, and I don't own the rights to this, right? Everyone would probably tell a similar story, but the camaraderie, the brotherhood, the connections, the love, and the spiritual growth that I experienced then, it never left me. And so when I hear some of the struggles that some of my brothers are going through, they're not exempt. I have my own story to tell with challenges and things that I went through. But when you have that foundation and you rely on it, you depend on it, and you stay bonded, those things never leave you, and they always serve a meaningful purpose. And I can see how it served a purpose in my life. And even at this point, just thinking about not finishing that first run at college, guys, I went into a career and I worked for a long time in sales and did very well. And I decided to go back to school, believe it or not, at age 50. I went back on campus at FIU down in Miami, and I reconnected with that whole, college life thing again, recreating one's self. And I think about, Moser's story, and it's never, ever too late. Steve made a great point about God being the great multiplier. The fact that he can take the littlest or the smallest thing and enhance it and enlarge it and change your life and other person's life in a tremendous way is something that we sometimes doesn't make good sense to us. It doesn't make common sense to us mathematically, but it happens and it's real. And I think about my experience, how it brought me through so many tribulations and trials. And now I think about where I am now and the peace that I have in myself, Coach. man, I feel really good to be able to bond with guys that I knew that many years ago, that the love is still there. I'm smiling just looking at the faces, Coach Cole. I'm looking at your face for the first time, man, since 1985. And I'm like, man, I didn't like that guy. I didn't like that guy, right? But, you know, it was a consistent message with your staff, Coach Young, and what they poured into the young minds that were there at the time. I'll absolutely never forget it. And I'm completely thankful and grateful just to be a part of this forum today. So I'm glad I was, invited here, man, and got a chance to see your guys' faces again. This is big for me.
Thank you, Drexel. That was interesting to hear your, maybe you can want to share some more in the future with us.
Sure.
Anybody else want to kind of share a little bit?
I had a question since we're talking about good running backs. Al Hansen, between you and Brian, did you have any rushing yards?
No rushing, passing. I don't know what it was. 3 for 3, 4 for 4 passing. And should have had a touchdown.
That's 100%.
What do you mean you should have, Al?
Because if they rushed 10 guys, threw it out to the side, and he ran down to the 5, and he waited for a block, he would have scored. I can't remember who it was. But
It was Moser.
yeah, it was in the dome, playing Jamestown, maybe, I don't know. But it was in the dome.
Hmm.
You know,
So you pretty much blame it all on him.
yeah, whoever caught it, yeah, he should have.
Yeah.
And he had a blocker coming. That's all he had to do. That's about it.
Hey,
TJ,
Kevin,
why would you ask that?
I was just curious.
Yeah.
Al's always trying to put off blame on other people. So it's kind of his personality.
Hey, Todd, you've aged pretty well there, buddy.
What?
You've aged well.
What are you comparing me to? Yourself?
Yeah, he weighs 180 too. He's 180. You can't tell though.
Yeah, if I could lose 150 pounds, I look like Moser. I was out, I climbed the top of the telephone pole here and got hooked up to internet the last 15 minutes. So we're in pretty good shape.
That's
it's like Green Acres.
Yeah.
Jay,
So Kevin,
I didn't know about your diagnosis with your liver. And
Yeah.
so I, you'll be in my prayers, nobody else's prayers. I know that. And I think at this stage in our lives, all of us at the age we're at, you figure out pretty quickly that life's an interesting journey filled with steep hills and sharp curves. And once in a while you get a nice straightaway. And when you get the nice straightaway, you better be thinking about the hill and the curve coming up.
That's right.
So, but I know you're a fighter, you got a good attitude, and that's about all you can do. You know, when you're faced with a thunderstorm, you lean into it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that most everybody on this call have been through something similar to what you're going through.
Well, I was telling Coach Young a while ago that, you're surrounded by my wife and pushing me for 27 years. And like person like Coach Brett, all you guys, and, everything was there. We just never took it and ran with it. And it is such a, I know that's what Kevin's going through too, and Kevin, it's not easy. And I know that. If it was easy, this would have happened a long time ago. But through my wife and stuff, I still struggle with it. But just hang in there, and
I hear you.
we'll be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wish I'd have taken that advantage of a long time ago.
Yeah, that's the regrets we're talking about there, though.
Yeah.
You know?
But I still love you, Kevin, even though you're a piece
Yeah,
of.
I know. Yeah. Try to make kiss and make up now, huh?
Let's
Yeah.
not,
Keep out of the
let's not
closet.
get carried away.
Yeah, no kidding. Becomes mushy, man.
Hey, Kevin, this is Bob Booth. I just wanted to tell you, you made a comment when you were kind of sharing with us, and it kind of stuck with me a little bit. But you commented that you were almost embarrassed a little bit. But I would challenge that. I mean, I see it more as courage than embarrassing. And you look back. You got guys like Alex and things that were always blocking for you and protecting you and creating opportunities for you. But that's what this group is here. We're your line to block for you, but also understand that at least from my perspective, I feel that the fact that you're coming out and sharing with us is almost asking for some help, and with help comes expectations.
Sure.
And I think that we are all here for you, but we have expectations that if you need us, that you reach out and let us know.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Usually quarterbacks have something to say, Ed.
Put you on the spot.
Number 18 generally has something to say.
Call me out, I guess.
Geez, you haven't said one word tonight.
I'm enjoying this group's a little older than me. This is kind of fun. I'm usually the old guy. So I didn't play in '84, of course, but I did play with Woo. And I just want to say it was fun to hear a lot of these stories. I can't, did we call that drill the nutcracker drill, where we put a blocker and a defender and some of the running back, and there were these huge collisions?
Mm-hmm.
I have fond memories of that. I used to stand there and say, set, hut, and hand the ball off, and then go, ooh, that looked like it hurt. So I used to enjoy that drill. But as we're talking about shared experiences, I do have a strong memory in the dome when he got a sack. He had an injured shoulder, so he had his shoulder in a harness, and he got up and celebrated his sack. And we used to practice the Woo sack dance after that, where we jump around like this on our knees.
Oh, guys.
I still remember that one. But just watching this, I think we're all 18, 19, 20, 21 when we played. And we played with, Coach Bob Young, Coach Brad Pohl. And Sid was always such an integral part of the football program. And for me, Super Dave Anderson was my coach there as well. And just the fellowship we had back then and the different men we are today, and to hear Moser give a powerful testimony like that, though I didn't play with him, I heard a lot about it. That was strong, brother. That was good stuff. And just to see the love that your teammates have for you is really cool. And what Brad said about Woo is 100%. I mean, I've played with him. I saw his success as a college football coach, and then watching him and Aaron win 3 state championships with Lincoln High School, which hadn't been done before. The accomplishment is just tremendous, and everybody's got a Woo story. So this has been a powerful night, guys. And Moser, Woo, you guys, you're strong. So God bless you.
Thanks.
Sid, we
Woo,
have to hear from you, Sid.
Real quick, Woo, do you remember back when you would get this kind of razzing in practice, and all I would remember you saying is, why for you guys so mean? I thought you was my friends.
Hey, you know what? I think you guys are losing your mind.
He still says that.
All you guys are.
He'll be saying it before we get off here tonight. He'll be saying the same thing.
No, the Koreans keep their mind fresh all the time.
Yeah.
All you
Rice.
guys, yeah, you guys are losing
I cannot believe.
it.
Why you do that?
Yeah, I remember that, Tom. Remember we did that string drill with Coach
I
Craven?
remember it quite a
Oh,
bit, yeah.
we did that every day, didn't we?
It wasn't really, yeah, that wasn't a real good matchup, Woo.
It was good for me because I had the leverage.
Oh, yeah, you were at my crotch.
Yeah, oh, now I'm moving up. Jeez, from ankle to crotch ain't bad. Next thing someone's gonna say chest.
That's where you live.
That's only when you were, that's when you stood on your tiptoes.
No, I can face Alex chest to chest. I can see his chest, face.
That's when he jumped off of bench.
Ed, you want to go ahead, Mick?
Well, Bobby old said something about that kind of struck the story up with me about everybody was there to block for Kevin, but I'd have a hard time blocking for Kevin, so I just handed the ball. Kind of brought up a game that we were at when we played Nebraska Wesleyan, the second game of the year after we played Augie, and it was actually the first time I heard Coach swear. And I think we can't remember, we went 4-and-out or something, and then the game went on, and then went out and I threw an interception and come running off the field, and Coach goes, "Doggone it, Mick, can't you throw it to somebody in purple?" And then we came out, I think we got a fumble. The defense got the ball right back. And then we came out and we had that automatic pass either to Dave Anderson or Roy Brown. If they came up and squatted on him, you just throw it over the top. So I was running back out on the field and Coach goes, "Just give it to Moser, just give it to Moser." So then they came up and squatted on Roy Brown, and I think I passed to Dave Anderson last time because we just kind of alternated because they're always open, and threw it up to Roy Brown. He goes 75 yards. And the part of the story, I forgot part of the story is that when I was running off the field, my coach said, "Can't you throw it to somebody in purple?" He broke the clipboard over his knee. I know he was really mad after that. So then we got the ball back, went back out, and we threw that interception or touchdown to Roy Brown. And I thought, well, I better take the long way off the field just in case he was still mad at me for not giving it to Moser. All I could hear is, "Good play, Lambert. Doggone it, who's got some duct tape?" So, but yeah, we handed to Moser about 40 times a game back then, and he was our man, and I still love you, Kev, and
It's good to see you, buddy.
we need to talk more.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
So, and Jay, I didn't hear the story on you either, and prayers to you, and let's keep in touch, get through this.
Yep, thanks.
I love I don't always get on Thursdays, but I do like watching the videos. So Chad, I appreciate everything you do with this. I do like watching them, and whether it's the next day or 2 weeks later, I do enjoy going through it and sitting on the couch and watching the videos. So appreciate all you guys.
Thanks, Mike. Good seeing you, buddy.
So before I forget here, it was Coach, was it 2 years ago when we had a little reunion and brought back a bunch of people and kind of celebrated you and Diane?
I think that was 2019, wasn't it?
I think so. So right now we're working on doing something similar for everybody that's been involved in the program, and for you guys on the line tonight, put the weekend of October 2nd on your calendar. That's homecoming. We're playing Augustana on that Saturday, and we're working on putting together a kind of a reunion, either that Friday night or that Saturday after the game. So there'll be some more information coming out. Everything's been kind of put on hold, you know, with COVID. But right now it looks like, hopefully if we don't have another outbreak, we'll open this fall without any restrictions and we can begin to have some activities again. But love to have everybody head to Sioux Falls that weekend, and be great to gather with everybody and watch the Cougars beat up on Augie. Might be the last time we play Augie.
Thanks, Todd.
How's the team looking this coming year? Anybody hear anything yet, or is just they start practicing again in what, end of July, August? Anybody know?
I really haven't been around them that much this year, so I couldn't really tell you. I talked to John Anderson and he's always pretty upbeat. So I think there's still a question mark in regard to the quarterback right now. They do have a senior, but they do have some young guys that probably are pressing their senior. And I don't know, I think probably it'd be pretty competitive, I think. So it's hard to know what can come out of there, you know, after a year of not playing. You know, they had a couple scrimmages this spring, but that doesn't really tell you a whole lot. But and a lot of the players in those scrimmage didn't play at all. So anyway, we're hoping
we'll be
together.
We'll be good. We'll be competitive. We'll be in every game. We're gonna have 115 kids out for football.
Really?
So you think about that compared to when we were there.
Yeah.
To have 115 kids, that program is it's grown by leaps and bounds since we all played. Something to be proud of. It's a great program, and you know this group was the foundation of all that. So you guys should be proud of that.
You should see that weight room now, Kevin.
Yeah. Remember?
You know how you tell me that story all the time. I remember down in that weight room.
I know that.
This is real. This is a real weight room.
Couldn't breathe with two of us in there.
It's not painted near as well as the old weight room though. So.
Exactly right.
Hey, do you want to tell Bob Booth where it's located? So when he's back getting his Hall of Fame induction, he knows where to avoid.
Hey, I went in the weight room one time when I was there in 4 years, and I had to spot Russ Stewart. And I thought, you know, that bar is set way too high. I'm just going to go to the library.
That's true. That's some funny stuff.
You know, hey, before it gets too late, you know, I see Dave and Rick Zimmer and Bruce Moeller and I mean, who else is on here that was back in, you know, TJ, I remember when you were just running around a little, and, you know, of course, Alex, we're going to spend some time together this summer some more, and Mick, you know, we've run into each other, and but man, if you guys ever need anything, I left my phone number and my email on the message thing. Feel free to give me a call. Feel free to reach out if there's any way I can help or talk or whatever. So I just want to kind of throw it out to you. Todd Knutson, I just assume that you don't call me, but you always
again.
Thank you.
Just send it by paper. Steve, you're great. I hope you'll call, but
would it be better, Brad, if I write you a letter or a note? We can correspond that way.
Yeah, let's do it by snail mail if we could. That'd be Bobby, I have I saw you one other time on this thing, I think, but boy, I go way back to thinking about Bozeman High School, walking in there and talking to you years ago, and you coming out and playing for us, and it was fun to get to know you. You grow
Yeah,
up.
that was a great visit with you when you came, and the timing just happened to be just right. I mean, I'd taken a year off after high school and needed some direction, and that opportunity just came at the right time.
Cool.
Well, it's getting to be a little after 9.
Yeah.
I want to be able to bring this to a close and in a good way. Dave Anderson, are you any last comments that you have? We haven't opened it up to you, but
Well, just kind of circling back to what I'm trying to think of who was saying it. Oh, you were talking about making a poor play call with Moser and regrets, and it's always fun to. I mean, I haven't been on here but a couple times. So I always have commitments on Thursday night, but the immediate feeling of being in the huddle again, or in the locker room together, and each day, each week, each year is part of this game that we as a team are all joined in together. And you talk about making a poor play call at the end zone and you lost the game and so forth. Well, there's never a perfect baseball game. There's never a perfect football game. There's mistakes made left and right. No block. I mean, every play is supposed to go for a touchdown, and every defense is supposed to stop every offensive play. And regrets are like that. I mean, they're in the game of life, you're going to make some mistakes. There's going to be things that don't go your way. The play doesn't go your way. That you miss the tackle, you drop the ball, but you keep playing, and you keep playing because the guy next to you that you've battled in the trenches in the weight room at Sioux Falls, or on that miniature practice field that we had. You sweat together, you bleed together, you cry together, and because of that, you just those regrets, those mistakes during the game, you can't dwell on them, because guess what? The clock's ticking, and the next play is up, and it's time to go. It's time to go to battle. And so it was great to meet up with Kevin. It's great to see the faces of the guys that I've battled with in life. When we were all together at the coup, and knowing that we're still all battling and getting after it in the game of life. And, you're all my teammates, and I love you all. And I told Kevin this, the years that I was there at the coup, that was the defining years of my life, that I became who I was going to be. And I look back fondly on the memories and seeing the faces. It brings it all back to my heart and to my mind. And Coach, it just so happens, I don't know if it's the same way on everybody else's screen, but your picture is right in the middle of all of it. And so thank you for being the core, the center of this team, and for putting all this together. And we owe you a lot, not only for the success we had on the field, but where we're at in life. And God bless you, and God bless the coup and all of my teammates here.
thanks, Dave. Very kind of you. Thank you
Thanks,
very
Dave.
much.
Well said, Dave.
Yeah.
Steve, I'm going to ask you to lead us in prayer here at the end, would you please?
Sure. Say, guys, I in the chat, I put maybe some of you guys may not be big readers or whatever, but there's a great new book out by Craig Groeschel. He's a pastor of churches all over the country, but he's also speaks in a lot of big leadership conferences, both in church and secular settings. And the guy's an absolute stud. If you ever see him, you could actually YouTube him. I put the spelling of his name on there, and the guy's always got these shirts that make him look like he's like a combination of Rojas and Moser together. But
Which
he's,
would be Jay Wu.
And Jay Wu. That's right. Jay's the only guy I could ever really see eye to eye with.
Thanks, Steve.
You and me, buddy.
That's right.
Why do you
No,
say
no
that?
6
Steve?
no 6 foot for us, man. But a great book called Winning the War in Your Mind. And just really good, even along the lines of things we've been talking about tonight. and great resource for helping other guys too. Just some really good stuff in there. But yeah, let's thanks for all the sharing, guys. Why don't we pray together? Lord, really value and treasure the people you put in our lives, and that you, in your wisdom, you knew that we would need guys to come alongside of us at different points in the journey of our lives, but that many of those would stay with us over the years. And whether we see them a lot or see them rarely, that the memories of being team together, of fighting together, of battling together would be kind of an image and a metaphor for having to do life together in the midst of all of life's battles, and also to experience the joys and the wins together. I pray that each of these guys would have lots of wins ahead in their lives, wins in career, wins in their relationships, and most of all, winning with you. And that's not because of them, but because of you and all that you've done for us. So Lord, we give you thanks for this time tonight, and just pray for your blessing upon us as we seek to be a blessing back to you as we live each day, pressing on towards that goal, which is Jesus Christ. In your name we pray, Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thanks, Steve.
Steve, I got one request before you leave. Can you explain that Kingdom Men Rising that was held up there a little bit? I just love that.
That was actually new to me when I saw that on your piece there. I hadn't. I'm familiar with who you put on there, but I hadn't heard that expression.
What's that event in April that you went to?
Oh, it's you're talking about Arise with the Guys. Is that the one you're talking about?
Okay.
Yeah. So Tony, up here in the cities, Tony Dungy, because he coached at University of Minnesota here for a while. Or did he play here?
Played there.
What's that?
Didn't he play there?
I think he played here, yeah. But he always, there's a big kind of mega church here in the cities that brings him in every year. Well, it's his event. They just kind of host it. And then he's got, like he had Dabble Sweeney in this year, and Daryl Strawberry, who's got incredible life transition testimony. Daryl Strawberry, who's off the deep end for years, is now pastoring around the country and saving souls all over the place. But it's an annual event that takes place up here. We're always right around Easter time, but we'll probably in the future get that word out even through things like this, because it's the kind of thing you can kind of jump onto online. And really cool to see what Dungy does with this. Gives out awards each year to some of these guys, and just shares some great stories. Sweeney's got a really cool story, and just how he works with his players, and they interviewed a lot of his players, and you just see the impact that he's made in their lives as well. So Arise with the Guys, you could actually Google that, arisewiththeguys.com, probably even see things with the event this past year.
I predict that Kevin Moser will be traveling around the country sharing his faith in about 5 years.
Is that your prediction, Coach?
That's my prediction.
We'll see.
All right, buddy.
It's good seeing all you guys.
Good to see you guys.
All right, guys.
All
Thanks,
right.
keep in
Love
touch,
you
Luke.
all, guys.
Love you,
Thanks a
Coach.
lot for being on tonight.
Later.
Coach, thanks, Chad. Thanks, guys.
Take care. Good seeing him.
See you, Joel.
See you, Jeff.